So we are now live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Christiana Ellis, the Dungeon Master, and I am pleased to announce that we have our full party reassembled for the first time in a little while. And that those players include David Archambault as Kneecap.
Coral bad.
Jason Banks as Radius.
How do you do?
I threw myself into disarray by starting to announce in the order that I saw on the Zoom screen, and then with the second person switching to the order that I have it on the stream screen, which are different orders, and it just fell to pieces right away.
This bodes well.
Yes. Nobilis as Cuspid.
Blessings of Belisama upon you.
Millie Katie as Coracoid.
Hello, where's the drums at?
Lee Burdett as Malleus.
More research.
And Paul Weimer as Tarsus.
Designation, Tarsus. Location, unknown. Status, unknown.
Ooh. Yes, well, our party, the last time we left our heroes, had successfully escaped the gate town of Cursed, and with their agenda of visiting 6 specific gate towns in order to reassemble the database in their mosaic mimir, have set their sights on Glorium, the gate town which connects to the heroic and battle-filled outer plane of Isgard. But that's a bit of a journey. So on the way, they did a little bit of research and a little bit of exploring. And then at one point had gotten out to do some hunting and foraging and found what seemed to be a very strange garden / forest of coral that, instead of being under the water, just was right out on the ground. And some samples were collected, only to result in a Marid who was angry and felt that these samples were being stolen, and it turned into a whole fight. And you eventually managed to defend yourself to the point that the Marid has stopped attacking you, but alas, your companion Tarsus was targeted by the malicious magic of the Marid and transformed, petrified, into a coral statue. So, that is pretty much where we left off. You are fortunate in this instance that you suspect that this petrification probably counts as death in the and you wonder, you can't help but wonder, is this going to trigger the reality glitch, or is he just a statue now? Hard to say. Although not really. I mean, in character, it's hard to say, but in reality, I think we all talked about it. So,
Yep.
I think you find that the coral of the statue is grown up out of the ground, and as a result, you can't just pick him up without worrying that you would break off his feet.
Yeah, that would be problematic.
Oh, there was also the matter of fleeing from the battlefield.
Yes.
And idea that his coral remains were basically the cost of destruction.
Yeah,
and
so
we did leave last time with Kneecap having hung one of the pendants that he took from his other selves on Tarsus's coral body.
But so I think as you all manage to flee back to the walking castle, you climb back aboard, and I think you find waiting for you Radius, who you suddenly remember. Oh, he was here all this time, but he just decided to stay in the castle when we went out on this expedition. And also, who's with him?
You see Tarsus. Tarsus is different from the way you remember him. He is noticeably bulkier. He's about the same height, and he is carrying a mace and a shield rather than a bow.
And Kneecap goes up to him and kind of crawls up to him and looks at him real carefully. Still Warforged.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
Tarsus?
Affirmative.
Did we miss a lot?
Yes.
Hmm.
Was Coral now here?
Yep.
Reality dysfunction. I have
Yep.
changed realities.
Hmm. Well, at least we know that whatever is wrong with us is still working.
Yes. Yes, it is.
One of the ironies of this particular instance is that you can't really recover the gear because it's all
No, holy gear is
Coral-fied.
coral.
yeah.
Not that I had anything really
Yeah.
special, but all my money is gone. I am broke.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you were willing to risk like breaking open the pouch, the coins might still sort of be in the now
Yeah, but everyone
coral-fied
ran.
pouch.
Nah.
Everyone ran. So no.
Yeah.
Tarsus 2 is fundless.
in a different
Well,
out of character in a different game had characters that turned into and were petrified and broke open coin purses of petrified, and the DM said that the coins were petrified as well.
Well, it's an interesting question because the nature of those sorts of spells is often such that, like, why does it make any sense that the clothes would also transform into stone? It doesn't
I mean,
necessarily.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, only the physical body transforms, and all of the, well, I mean, what little clothes they were wearing did not. So
mhm.
But I think it is the sort of thing that you could imagine being very variable based on the specifics of the magic. That there's a similarity in result without there necessarily needing to be a similarity in mechanism, and that's the sort of difference that might arise from the different mechanisms. Regardless, you didn't stay to find out if there were gold coins left in the coral pouch, so. Here you
Yeah.
go. Together again.
yeah,
Together
Sort
again
of.
for the first time.
For the first time for the last time.
So I think we had established that you had recovered some of the, like you had successfully hunted a bit and gotten some
Yeah.
rations worth before all that happened. And I believe that you did not abandon the coral samples that you took, Cuspid. I think you started to go to like put them back, but the Marid was pretty clear that like broken off samples can't just be put back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That suddenly makes me wonder about real coral. Like if you broke off a piece but then like glued it back in place, it might be fine. Like if it hadn't,
Eventually.
like if you did it right away. Anyway, that's not what this is all about. Do you set the castle standing and walking again?
Me.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yep.
All right. You return once again to that big map room, and Thafir. What was her name again? I think that was it, right?
Mayfair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had it right. Why did I second guess myself? Now it seems like I don't know what I'm talking about. she commands the castellan, and the castle once again takes its enormous construct legs and stands and begins walking across this landscape. And it occurs to you briefly that as you are walking along, it is crushing significant portions of this coral every time it takes a step.
Uh,
I think Malleus hangs out over like one of the edges and just flips off the Marid.
uh,
if you
I
I
think
mean,
me
that
Captain
sounds
be like when it when he sees Melly's tail and be like, not now, not now.
Paul,
if
roll.
he petrifies you up here and you fall down and shatter on the ground, there's nothing we can do.
Paul, roll a
If that
d20
happens,
for me.
I will come out of a closet
Okay.
and be just fine.
Oh, this would be funny. This would be funny
That's
if this
true.
happens. I know what Christiana wants. That's a 19,
Okay.
Christiana.
Yeah, I think if it had been a 1, the castle would have stepped on the horrified Tarsus.
That would have definitively ended Tarsus version 1.
But that does not happen. I think that there is a little bit of a as you're looking down, there is a moment where you realize, oh, that big foot stomp just stomped about 25 feet away from from. So, well, all right. Well, I guess that could have gone badly, but thankfully didn't. All right. So I think you can all choose whether you're having the castle stay up on the upper level of that ridge, or whether you were wanting it to have it follow along like the river basin. Because you are, of course, headed up to Glorium, which is here, but had also kind of done a little bit of research into the Caverns of Thought and Xemnid's realm, and decided both of those were definitely places you did not want to.
Same for Dedratus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then likewise, the mountains themselves would slow the castle down substantially because they are quite steep, and so finding passes and slopes that the castle can manage would not be quick to go through the mountains, and so the goal was to minimize how much of the mountainous terrain you're having to cross.
Yeah.
If you can
So
go
that
around,
being
it's
said-
better.
Yeah, so that being said, the River Valley looks like a better choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we go up that cliff and along there, we're going to have to come back down again.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't like places where that can be done. It just seems better to just go along that river valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
agree.
we
Confirm it.
have we investigated the mausoleum of Chronepsis?
Negative.
Not
Do
yet.
that.
Or Tarsus pointed out, my version of the skeleton crew had not investigated the mausoleum.
I don't think we have yet either.
No.
And we're going up right by Moradin's anvil.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've checked that out either.
Correct.
That'd be something me as a player would like to check out just out of curiosity.
Oh, sure. You know what? I mean, you're spending several days on this journey, and so I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be curious enough to investigate and do a little research with the available library on the notable landscape features that you're passing. It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
So certainly, as before, this roll is reflecting that you have actually spent an hour or more in the library looking for topics on this subject and then reading up on it. This is not an instant result, but since you have time, we're kind of abstracting it. So go ahead and make an investigation roll for whichever one you want to do first.
All right. I'm going to do Moradin because it's the one we're going to pass first.
Okay.
And that is a 23.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Looks like you did just one roll. I think we had established that you have help, so you can roll with advantage.
Okay. Well, I will do that one more time? Not quite so.
Sure.
Not quite so kosher.
23 still the best roll. So,
Yep.
what you determine is that there wouldn't be a lot to see above ground, even if you did go that way, because it is, in fact, an underground dwarven mining city. And it is divided among 3 dwarven deities: Dugmarin Brightmantle, god of invention and discovery; Dumathoin, the god of exploration and buried secrets; and Vergadin, god of luck and wealth. And it is reputed to be a site where impeccable smiths reside. The dwarves of Moradin's anvil produce some of the best armor and weapons in the Outlands, and they regularly trade with a small surface settlement called Iron Ridge, which is near Glorium.
Ooh. Iron Ridge. Sounds like good stuff.
Affirmative.
Yeah, sounds like that could be worthwhile.
All right. So that is, you know, so I think we had left it as there were 5 days of travel left.
There,
So
negative.
Mhm.
We had 3.5 days of travel left.
okay,
Right.
well,
That's
there
right.
you
It's
go.
5 days total, and we've done
5 days
Right.
total.
5
Okay,
days.
good. Good note taking or just memory.
3 days. 3 days actually. Yes, 3 days left. 3 days. Left.
Okay, well, let's
Because
imagine
the
that,
dragon stuff.
you've got probably one of those days would be about like that, and then your second day is going to take you up close to that mausoleum of Chronepsis, and then the third day around probably to the north, and then taking up a pass into Glorium.
Oh.
Sound right?
Alrighty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So probably I want to look up on the mausoleum now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what I'm hitting next.
Sure.
Woo! Nat 20.
Ah, there you go.
Hey.
I'm hoping this is just a trend that will go on all night long instead of wasting all of my nat 20s on research binges.
He's so good
Yeah.
at research.
So what you discover is that the Chronepsis was in fact itself a once great city from the age of dragons, but it has long since fallen to ruin. And the mausoleum is basically the most intact feature of that city. And so it is kind of the only meaningful destination remaining in this place that used to be a great city, that is now just ruins. There is a vast cavern beneath the dilapidated city, is the entity for which the city was named, Chronepsis, the dragon deity of time and fate. Typically manifests as an ancient time dragon, and you are recently
Oh,
familiar.
wait a second.
Well, hang on. Chronepsis was not the name of the time dragon you met, but you
Right.
did
We
meet
met a
the time
different
dragon.
time dragon.
And this time dragon had met you and seemed familiar with you, but also recognized, hey, wait a minute. You don't recognize me yet. This may be some time stuff. I'm familiar with those things. And you were given an amulet and told to give it to the one who sees silver. But so, yes, that happened. Chronepsis, this dragon deity of time and fate, supposedly lives in this cavern, surrounded, it says, by hundreds of hourglasses. And then each hourglass within the dragon god's realm is said to represent the life of a dragon somewhere in the multiverse. However, Chronepsis prefers to be left alone. Seldom leaves his sanctum, In times of great need, he relies on seasoned adventurers to recover stolen hourglasses, speed the sands of a troublesome worm, or to travel back in time to mend a past wrongdoing. But generally, the guidance that you discover in your research is if he wants you, he will approach you. He's not taking solicitations.
So noted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps go close to, like, kind of skirt it, and if we're approached, be if we're approached, we're approached. If not,
Mhm.
we just move on.
Well, certainly as you are, passing by, you will be certainly able to see the ruins of this city. And there are lots of ruined dragon statues, and as we can see in the, dragon skeletons of enormous size, and ruined buildings and such. But I think that it was once a large city, and so you don't necessarily see the mausoleum. But you are aware that if you were to explore this place more thoroughly and to look for a cavern, there might be a crenepsis inside.
Are there any um dragon skulls that are lying around that on the surface?
I mean, probably. You want to look for
Because
one?
yeah, Kneecap would like to possibly see if he can get it. He can find tooth, a dragon's tooth.
All right. I so here's the thing. I'm going to make you roll, and the roll is
Yep.
not that there won't be any skulls. The idea is that you're rolling to see if there might be a skull with a usable tooth that has not already been looted by someone.
Yeah, yeah, and an idea just so I get out is like, if it's a really good tooth, maybe have it turn into like a dagger of some kind eventually.
Yeah.
But
So I'm going to have you make this would probably be, I think, probably investigation, because
Okay.
again, as I mentioned, there are dragon skulls, and the
Yeah.
dragons have teeth, but a lot of them are very old
Yeah,
and
very old.
probably wouldn't be in very good shape, and a lot of them that are easily accessible but had teeth in good shape might have already been sort of you know either weathered by time or by other people with the same idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
make
Malleus will help.
okay,
Okay.
sure. Now I think, how much time do you think you would spend doing that?
Like not like all day, but like you know, if I spot a particularly
Well,
good
part of the reason I
dragon.
ask is just because if you've asked the castle to stop while you do this, it's just something you might want to be discussing with the others. Is like how much time are you surrendering for this little field trip?
Hour? 1 hour?
Perhaps we might arrange our stops for the evening so that that the stop can coincide with your search for a tooth.
Okay.
Yes. Sounds doable to
This
me.
would give you
I mean,
sufficient time.
We
to-
don't actually stop for the night.
Yeah, we
No.
just keep going.
Well, we sleep, but we rest and sleep. We can actually
the
change that
castle
to
doesn't,
stop.
though.
Yes, no,
We
we
can-
can rest and stop for a change.
Yes.
You would presumably not want to be looking for a tooth after dark, though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Would
think
make it harder.
we don't. Yes.
So
Yeah.
like an hour before dark, kind of thing.
Golden hour.
Golden hour.
Happy hour. We'll see based on the roll. We'll see if it's happy hour based on the roll.
Yeah. So let's get this investigation check. I'll accept that Malleus is helping, but I would still like Kneecap to want to do the roll.
Yeah.
7 and a natural 20. An advantage. So
Wow,
21
okay.
total.
I think that as you are looking around and finding that, just as I mentioned, there are skulls, but a lot of them have just kind of, the teeth have either been broken or they've actually kind of turned to stone and fossilized, or they've already kind of people have been at them. You're starting to feel a little bit discouraged, but then the light seems to just glint in a particular direction, and you see the perfect tooth. Tell me what the perfect tooth, the exact one that you had hoped you might find, what it looks like.
It is not the biggest because that would be more for his purpose probably be more like a sword in his hand, and he wants a dagger. See, it is like it is. It looks like despite the rest of the skull and other teeth, it looks perfect. And I want to say, like, I like the idea of it of saying that when he goes over and gets it, he hears a whisper of the dragon's name while doing so,
Yeah.
and so he
Okay.
can name the blade.
Oh. Do you have one in mind, or would you like me to provide it?
If you could.
All right. Well, give me just a moment. So let's see. Dragons. Okay. This list that I've found has some funny ones in it. Um, um, I think you find this voice whispers to you that this tooth comes from Acid, Lord of the Green.
And
Aisid.
AISI
What are the green?
or D.
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 D. Okay.
D is in dragon.
Yes. That's how you can tell.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there any idea of what color dragon it is? Any?
Well, the title is
Anybody
Lord
know?
of the Green, so
Okay.
that might be a clue.
I'm thinking green dragon.
Now, theoretically, there could be other kinds of green that something could be Lord of.
Yeah.
But
Like
there are green
my
dragons.
thoughts like green of green of a forest or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll bow to the skull, say thank you, and scurry off.
Yeah. And the tooth is easily removed. Like you have to work at it, but it just comes right out for you, and it just it feels a little bit easier than you would have expected.
Cool. And his idea is to name um name the dagger something related to the name of the dragon.
Nice.
Yeah, basically that way to show respect.
All right. Do you have plans for how to turn it into a dagger?
My thoughts like if I could find someone with the skill to do so.
Sure.
Pay money.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because just like you could just wrap some leather around the base of it, but that probably wouldn't be ideal. Anyway, the journey continues. So what is everyone else getting up to during this few days? Is everyone just at the library?
Well, Tarsus is gently inquiring of his companions to find out how different they are from the party that he knew.
Okay. Yeah, Cuspid is on board for that.
He'd like to know what is Cuspid, what is this Cuspid's deal? What is this Malleus's deal? What is this Cora's deal?
Meanwhile,
What did-
we'll be similarly intrigued as to what your particular deal is now.
Well, a difference for kneecap is this kneecap is Um, this kneecap is unarmored, which you're surprised about, and apparently uh, does not have the magic you've seen, magical
Oh,
skill.
I like this idea, David. I want everyone to do this.
Yeah.
What are you different from the one I know?
Yeah.
Well, I guess part of the question is, what does the one you know do? So I know what.
Well,
Well,
no,
well,
I think, yeah, I think
Yeah,
David
we.
made it up based on
yeah,
a
David's
possible
making it up.
alternate.
Yeah, I want you to make up
Yeah.
your my
Oh,
corresponding
gotcha.
alternate.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alright. Someone
I
else can
think
go while I look at my
I
list.
think you're surprised. I think you're surprised that Malleus is a kobold.
Oh, that's
Personality wise, not too different, but you're surprised that he's a kobold and he seems a whole hell of a lot smarter than the Malleus you're used to.
Yeah.
oh,
This cuspid is a lot nicer, in spite of the fact that she's kind of reserved and seems to have a little bit of a superiority complex. Um, she's a lot kinder than the cuspid you know.
You are surprised that this Radius is a distance fighter, not an up close he's not up close and personal at all. Yours used to get wade into battle. This one, not so much.
Um, this Cora, you're surprised that she has like instruments and doesn't have her big ass quarterstaff.
ah, I like it all. I like it all. So you find out that this Tarsus has what he calls the cleric module and the Bellum submodule. He is a war cleric.
Hmm.
This Tarsus also points out, seems to remember that he was created by elves, which your previous Tarsus did not remember.
Ah.
Remembers a little more about where he came from. Not much, but enough.
Mhm.
Very nice. All right. So, the castle continues walking. You get to a point where you now must enter the mountains if you are to reach Glorium, and so the pace slows down somewhat because the castle has to be very careful where it puts its footing, and it's often having to deal with much steeper slopes at the same time that it tries to keep its castle portion horizontal, like
Mhm.
because it can't really lean easily without disrupting a lot of its function. So you're going up into these mountains, and the castle is managing. You don't have to like control it in that way, but
Yeah.
I think there is just a recognition that it is, it is much slower going, and it's difficult for the castle to do this. But
Yeah. And well, judging by what imagery is apparent on the map in the area, I think Kneecap is gonna very much be on lookout. Try and be on the lookout for any sort of ambushes.
so I should I raise the question of investigating Glorium?
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
I
Oh, yeah.
mean,
I
I'm
thought
prompting
that was
you
I thought
because
that
you
was
would
a
have had
given
time
that
sitting around.
Dallas was
I
going
think
to do it.
Dayfear
Yeah.
at some point is like, well, we're getting close to Glorium.
Yep. That one is a 19.
Okay. Just because you're checking out everywhere else. So
Yeah.
as I think you had already put together, it is the gate town for the heroic domains of Isgard. Um, it is one of the upper outer planes rather than the lower, and generally considered more positive. But it's the place that heroic warriors would often want to go. Um, Warriors are forged in this gate town. It is smaller than many gate towns, but it includes lodges, training fields, and farms arranged along the fertile slopes of an icy fjord. It is notable for having a colossal serpentine statue towering over the gate town. Its coils arching along the peaks of a high mountain range. So this serpentine dragon looking thing you see on the map is in fact an enormous statue.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, it is, and it is that big basically, like compared to the mountains as opposed to the town, which is drawn so that you can see it. Meaning it is coiled around mountains. That's how big the statue is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want the castle to sit on the head like a hat.
Mhm. So the
Someone might get upset at that though.
yeah.
But it looks like a crown.
I can understand that,
Hmm.
but we don't want to upset the locals.
sure.
We need to research the snake first.
Yeah.
You do know that there are locals who do traverse the statue and use it to like get around in the mountains. It is not, generally speaking, the people from Glorium, but rather nomadic tribes of barriers, which are like the the centaurs where the lower body is deer rather than horse, like
Mhm.
your guide, your tout
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
you first came out of the mortuary was.
Right.
So there's nomadic tribes of those that also live in the mountains to the south and are often kind of a line of defense against invasions from Gazemnid's realm that is often trying to send aberrations out to take over other places. And so it is actually those tribes that are kind of known to use the statue, like they climb all over it. You know that you get that the current ruler of Glorium is a woman named Tirza Bonebreaker. And she is the daughter of the previous ruler, Flatnose Grim. She is known as being a great warrior and a good ruler. The town is mostly, it has a love of, combat, but without the hatred of war. They
Mhm.
do often have plenty to hone their skills because invasions from different giant realms tend to come through, and so do aberrations periodically from Xemnid's realm and other various threats that they constantly have to fight off. But you know what? They're here for it. Like that's kind of like they spend their time that is not spent fighting those sorts of invasions by training and having practice combat of their own, because that's what they think is cool. It is generally, they are tight knit fellowship of hardened warriors, and they tend to revere gods of war. And visitors who have not proven themselves in combat are often treated, not hostilely, but coolly. Like until you've proven
Right.
yourself, you're not one of us. That sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
Is there? Do they have like tournaments or anything like that?
Constantly.
Okay, so there's opportunities to prove yourself if you want to.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I almost see all right, so we're gathered around the fire tonight. Who wants to have an arm wrestling contest sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
like, or it's like, yeah, here is arm wrestling, over there it's bare knuckle boxing, over there there's where you can fight a tree.
Mm-hmm. So I think you are in a position where you could choose to arrive in Glorium, like as it's starting to get dark, or you could choose to, stay in the castle overnight and arrive in the morning. It's up to you.
I think arriving in the morning is probably a better choice.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Should I assume that you will, as you did before, park the castle somewhere a little bit out and then go in by foot,
Mhm.
or do you want to just walk
Yeah.
the castle right in?
Let's park
Yeah,
outside.
Yeah, we'll keep it
Yeah.
city limits.
Okay.
So I imagine it'd be very hard to keep it truly hidden
Mm-hmm.
with mountains around, but
Yeah. And I think actually you spot a couple of here and there you'll spot like a barrier scout. So you're sure that there's at least some people who know you're here.
like I imagine you know this going and just kind of settling in at a respectful distance from the town. It's not something unusual.
Yeah. Just because I had not it's certainly part of what you would be looking for. I didn't read the part about the gate, right?
Oh,
Because
yes.
that's of course the
Uh-huh.
reason you're coming
That's
here.
why we're here.
Yes. So the gate to Isgard takes the form of an enormous whirlpool that is out in the water. So this town that's kind of on the shores of a fjord has water, out near it, and in that water is an enormous whirlpool, large enough, it says, to allow passage of storm giant ships.
Wow.
Oh, that's a pretty big
Oh.
whirlpool, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it also changes its tide twice a day to allow travel in either direction. So you can't go both ways at any time, but different times of day you could go either direction.
It's like
So
we're not
you-
going to be stuck, but we may have to wait on the other side to come back.
Right. And you find with it was in, looks like you've rolled a few more times. What was the roll? I
The
think
19.
thought you said 8.
It was a 19.
19.
I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
It was a 19.
All right, that's fine. I think you see that there is rumors that there is in fact another gate somewhere in the vicinity of Glorium, that is rumored to be a secret entrance to Yggdrasil, the cosmic tree. That does not appear, however, to be the one that your Mimir would be expecting.
Hmm.
And it's just it's like there's no confirmation of that. That's like if anybody knows about it, it would be a closely guarded secret.
Yeah.
And to have the information on the gate, we need to be within was it 30 feet of it?
I believe that's right. I can confirm that.
Yeah.
I
Boat?
can detect location of any portals within 30 feet of me.
Yeah, so 30 feet is for sure
Mhm.
what it is.
Yeah.
Get boat. And
Well,
Well,
go out.
I mean, you're not in the town yet, but that I'm
Well,
just saying
I'm
that you.
saying like the night before.
Sure.
Get ideas. Get boat, go on water, and row real fast to keep from getting sucked in while you do it. Maybe.
There's two ways I can see this kind of going. Is we go close enough because I have to be within 5 feet of the actual gate in order to do the thing, and it takes a minute. And then we'll probably get pulled through because I don't think anybody is strong enough, even you, to actually like
Prevent that.
resist the current.
So we should go when the current is flowing out of the gate rather than in.
Well, I think probably
still
what
be
we should do
fighting
is
it.
go
We-
close to when it switches
Hmm.
so that we're pulled closer and then we're
Right.
spat back out.
Good point.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah. That'll take some timing and planning, but
Yeah.
We will need to rent a boat.
It'd be interesting. I wonder how the Modrons do this.
They
I
may
mean, do they
fly.
just like
I
pull a Modron chain and just one of them kind of gets close to it and hangs off and is like the links
Mhm.
Some
on a
Modrons
chain
may
and they,
fly.
this is true. I do not have this ability, sadly.
I do not have the ability.
nope.
I don't even have the magic.
nope.
No.
Ken rowboat.
Magic not appearing in this scenario.
Maybe one day.
I wouldn't be surprised if a radius would have before everything happened,
Well, depends.
or at least a decent chance.
It's one of those utility spells that I'll probably grab at some point if I don't like end up with one of my other characters versions.
Fly is such a useful spell as a utility spell, not just because of the literal flying part, but because it makes your movement speed 60 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're
Um,
flying an inch off the ground.
Okay, Christiana.
Anyway.
Yes.
Before the mention of fly came up,
Hmm.
I was going into my character sheet because I realized that one of the spells that I chose was really badly chosen.
Okay.
And fly, and it's a third level spell, and fly is third level. Will you allow me to swap that out? I had intended of swapping it before the conversation started,
Okay.
but
Well, so here's the question. You are, I assume,
I
are
have
a
not
class.
used.
Well, are you currently a class that is able to change the spells after a long rest?
No, a sorcerer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, sure.
Yeah, because I had not used the other third level spell on the list, and I realized like the reason I hadn't used it is because it's useless to me.
I'm curious what that spell was.
Shroud of Spirit Shroud.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I will allow it. Let's try to not make this a regular thing, but I have no objection.
I mean, you know me. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
don't give up.
Yeah. So allowed. I'm just saying, like as a group consensus,
So
we don't want to do that all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Cuspid just kind of looks up from the window, looks back from the window she'd been peering out of and says, "Oh, I can fly."
Oh,
Garza's blank sight.
That
Let me
Okay.
that
Can
will
you make
simplify things.
okay, yeah. Yeah. How long does that spell last? I mean, versus the distance out and back.
It take 10 minutes.
So we
All
would
right,
still have
so
to
it would
run
Plenty
have
of
to
out.
be
time. Plenty
it
of
would
time.
have to be 4 minutes out and then 4 minutes back.
or we could still start off with a boat.
I
Yeah,
think so
yeah,
because
that's
I
it.
don't think you'd be able to get there in 4 minutes flying.
Yeah.
60 feet per round. That would be 600
600 feet
per
per
minute.
minute. 4 minutes would be 2,400
2,400 feet.
feet.
Yeah, but half a mile. If it's more than that, then
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
but definitely would be outside of the current or
Hmm.
unresistible current.
True. I think that we rent a boat, we move as close as possible, and then cast fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does dash work with fly?
The same.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
if you're dashing,
dashing, it can
You can go
it can
almost a
go
full
about
mile.
3/4 of a mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll just hope my spiffy new duds don't get wet.
Yeah.
They're not quite new duds anymore, but they're still really spiffy.
You're gonna have to get within 5 feet of a raging whirlpool. I think you're gonna get
Yeah,
wet.
you're gonna get wet.
Yeah.
I think Radius. I think before he does that, Radius is going to change back into his old duds.
Yeah, it's like photographing the raging waterfall. You get wet. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
going to change back into his old duds.
prestidigitation.
That's for when I get back. But this is quality stuff here. Whereas the old duds are handmade. I you know, they're not
they've
quite
gone
so
through
high
worse.
quality.
They've gone through worse.
All right. So, sounds like loose plans have been made the
Mhm.
night before, and you plan to, um, pack uh, pack yourselves in for an on-foot journey in the morning.
Yep.
I think you'll find, not that you didn't like bring cold weather or anything, but it is certainly a wintry place in the mountains. It is cold. It's not mechanically cold, but flavor wise, you're marching through the snow.
Mhm.
And I think in some cases that's difficult, but not so difficult that we need to do any rolls about it. I'm just setting the scene
Yeah.
that you're trudging through snow in this wintry range of mountains. But then as you crest the ridge and look upon the town of Glorium below you, songs and shouts rise over a sturdy looking town between snowy mountains at the mouth of a bay churning with rough waters. In the surrounding fields, warriors and martial artists hone their skills. And as you near, your Mimir chimes as its eyes brim with a swirling blue-green light. And I've got a handout for you. I'm sharing with you now the handout called Glorium.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Cool. Wow.
Ooh.
That a snake head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that Tears of Bonebreaker
It is.
in the picture?
Aha.
Good guess.
Oh. That's a person with the looks like mechanical hand
Uh,
and arm.
yes, it would seem so. One little detail that I was just amused by in terms of sometimes when you're, you know, looking at the artwork and reading the text is that the text for Tears of Bonebreaker says she is well over 6 feet tall. But in this
I mean,
image,
yeah.
she is more like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, is well over 6 feet tall.
Either that or the person standing beside her is just on the other
Looks
side
like a
of small.
Goliath to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it being like a teen. You know,
Could be
young
like a
teenager
child Goliath or just a very
Yeah,
small
like-
Goliath. It's just, we could imagine that. But I am imagining her as what we would initially guess looking at this is that she is something like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And and there's giant influence in this whole region here, and she's got a fancy giant belt. So I think that's what's happening here. But I thought it was amusing to point out the text description. Well over 6 feet tall. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you have viewed this. You have arrived at Glorium, and you have seen it as I have described it for you. And what would you like to do?
Kneecap is very excited. It's looking around at all the action, and like a dog that's not quite sure where to go first.
Or next.
Too many squirrels. The I guess if the question is, do we want to get right to it, or do we want to poke around a little bit first?
I think that we never know when we might have to flee a situation. So getting our business done first and then investigating might be a better plan.
Okay.
Is there
Therefore, we should go to the docks.
someone who's obviously wanting to get participate in one of the bouts, but doesn't seem to have a partner? Somewhat nearby.
I mean, I think where you
Oh.
are right now, where you're coming in, is that what you would be passing through first are like farm fields. But there are certainly people working in the fields.
They're doing jobs. Well,
I think certainly
Yeah.
there, anyone who's nearby is noticing your arrival and working, but also noting the arrival of newcomers and eyeing you not in a hostile fashion, but as in I am paying attention to a stranger that is approaching.
I'll hold up my flail and say, "We're fine fun."
Uh, make a charisma check.
Oh, that's good. That's gonna be interesting. 5.
5. Uh,
Was
uh, I think that this the person that you have met here is let's just go ahead and say there's a Goliath. There's lots of Goliaths that live here, who kind of leans on this spade they'd been using to dig furrows in the in the ground. Kind of leans down on it, looking way down at you, and just says, "I don't think the kind of fun that we have here is what you're looking for, Shrimpy."
Oh, trust me, he hits way above his size.
Uh-oh.
and Kneecap's respawn is fat.
Bet.
Oh God.
He'll put his hand, say, 5 gold.
I'm sorry. Say again.
5 gold. Like he'll pull out
Oh,
5
wow.
gold pieces from his head.
Oh boy.
Uh, all right. 5 gold. What's the bet?
I fight good.
How about arm wrestling?
Okay. And he'll put up his arm.
All right. He leads you to where they've got like an equipment sort of like table that you can properly get on, and there's a bit of business about how you like what can you like stand on so that you can be at the same level to try to do this, and just the scene would be highlighting this physical difference in size and the potential challenges that presents in just trying to arrange an arm wrestling challenge, right?
Yep.
Oh boy.
But go ahead and we're going to do 3 athletics checks, and I have a DC, and the goal here is you win if you succeed on 2 of the 3 or more.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna worry about rage because
Sure.
just gonna be straight.
Yeah.
Right. Natural 20.
Okay, nice. So that's certainly a success.
Starting strong.
Yeah. And I think that is like this Goliath is sort of almost laughing, but then as soon as he first kind of goes in and he is unable to like actually push you over, there's a little bit of like, whoa,
Oh.
what, really? But then there's a glint in his eye, like, oh yes, good. This will actually be a competition.
And 14 for the second.
Second one, now that he's realizes he's going to have to put some effort in, he is regaining ground.
Okay. 23.
Okay. Despite him putting in that extra effort, you are able to persevere, win the day, and you pin his arm. And he steps back, laughing and shaking his arm, and says, "Well, I was obviously wrong to prejudge you. Now I dub you Shrimpy, but with respect.
Hey, recap Shrimpy.
So, sorry I was a little brusque with you before.
Yeah. I'll hold out my
Maybe
hand
you're
to
looking
him
for the
to
kind
shake.
of fun we have here after all. And he reaches down to shake as well. And he definitely squeezes pretty hard with the handshake.
Oh,
You
I'll
know.
just squeeze back as hard.
Yeah. No, he expects it, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
this
thing.
is
He would have been disappointed if you didn't.
yeah.
So obviously you're maybe looking for the kind of fun we have here after all. You're looking for a little skirmishing, or you looking to sign up for some of the real fighting we do? What are you all here for?
Fun after work, and I'll point to Malleus.
And kneels down by Malleus and just says, "So do you arm wrestle too?"
And Melia says, "No, you can just call me Shrimpy too, and mean it with disrespect. I am perfectly okay with that. I need to go to the whirlpool
You going to Isgard?
as close as I can get without actually going through. But if I go through, I go through."
Well, I mean, sure, if that's what you want. So obviously, you want a boat?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
about.
Well,
Affirmative.
there's I think if you head down towards the docks, Bacol Steelbane and his boat, the Courier, are currently in town after their latest trip to Isgard. I think he's a captain you can trust.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, uh, good luck with whatever all that is going to be, and perhaps we'll all have some fun afterwards.
Oh
Affirmative.
yeah.
And then he goes back to his farm work.
As we're walking along, I say, our experience in Cursed led us to avoid going through the gate, but it occurs to me that there's not necessarily anything wrong with going through and coming back.
Yeah. No.
And if
Yeah,
it pulls us through and we get the information we need, and then we wait a little while and come back,
Hmm.
yeah, particularly since, well, I'm
I
figuring
mean,
that this
there
would
may,
be this would not be as problematic of a location as, say, some others to go
Yeah,
into.
I think we knocked out cursed first because A, it was cursed, and B,
It was close.
it was a gate no one wanted to go through.
right.
Well,
So
it's also specifically one of the ones where if you go to Carcerai, you're going to have extreme difficulty coming back, period, much less it
yes,
being a nice place to be.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Prison
think the
plane.
same goes I think the same goes for here, but it's definitely a little bit more up our alley as far as like, fighting your way through.
Well, I
Well,
imagine I imagine
this is a conversation you're all having, right? This isn't with
Yeah,
the,
so
Yep.
the
yeah,
guy.
so
Okay,
we're
right.
walking along.
Yeah. Oh, I
We're-
also
we're-
figure that this is like Isgard is going to be more of a they don't want to try to keep us in sort of place.
can
It's
win
Yeah.
I mean,
can win
they
is
they might not, and
else.
it being an upper plane, it may also be someplace we get there and find maybe we don't even want to leave. That's a danger in some of the more
Yeah.
pleasant
yeah.
outer
Mhm.
realms. But
It's also a place where they really like to fight there, and the people who actually belong there don't actually die when they fight in these battles, whereas
Yeah.
that's not true of
Mhm.
visitors.
Hmm.
Affirmative. We
So-
might get challenged for the hell of it, as they say.
I mean, we probably don't want to, but it's not as terrible.
Yeah.
So, but I think the plan where we, sail close just as it's turning is is a good one, and hopefully an experienced captain who knows about these things would be able to handle that process smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as you are making your way into the town and then down the slope towards the docks, you see that there are a number of different like smaller boats at the docks,
Mhm.
but the most distinctive one is a boat that appears to be half boat, half giant raven.
Hmm.
Wow.
Like it is literally a 40-foot long raven in the water with seats on the back, and like it's like part boat, part raven, that big in the water. The raven does appear to be alive.
Fascinating.
Ooh. Like all of this is like song material.
I bet they would be impressed if you could create a song in honor of their boat.
Oh yeah. Out of character, what it
Given,
reminds me of is
Yeah.
uh, Odin, and he always had one of the things he had was a raven that would
Pair of ravens.
yeah.
Yeah.
yep, thought and memory. I don't
Yep.
remember their actual names.
Munin and Zunin, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. I
There's
know
a couple
Hugin.
Munin.
variations of them.
Hugin and
Mugen.
Munin.
Hugin
Yeah.
and Mugen.
Mugen.
Munin.
And do not ask them to say nevermore.
All right. So I think as you are making your way down towards the docks, that's certainly the one that stands out. Um, is that the one you're headed for, or what are you doing?
Well, the
Yes, I mean,
Yeah,
let's
that's
be
one
direct
you're
about this.
for.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as you approach, you see that there's a few sailors, kind of who seem to be like, uh, just hanging around, like they're watching everything. There's a few people who are like, getting some small bits of cargo off, and then there's a lanky orc who seems to be wearing a fair amount of like slightly fancier armor. Seems to be in charge.
Pleasant day to you, Captain. We have a task we wish to perform that requires a captain and crew of unusual perspicacity, and we're hoping to engage you for this purpose.
Did you say perspicacity?
I
Nico,
thought
you
I
make the
was the
local.
We need a good captain,
I thought I was the wordy one. My gods.
highly skilled. Uh, uh, Basically, what we need to do is visit the gate without going through. So we're planning to do is to
100
arrive.
gold.
Very well. I think we can manage that. Um,
You're
Oh,
not
I
even
think we've
going to
got
do
that
him the
between us.
honor of haggling.
uh,
As you're kind of bickering with each other, he kind of gets a glint in his eye and says, "Well, how about this? I'll knock it down to 50 gold if one of you can beat me in a sea urchin eating contest."
decap it. Decap.
Oh,
Absolutely so right.
Allow me to introduce you to my little friend.
My boy,
Decap.
I hope you didn't fill up on bread, my boy. And I think he kind of trumps over to a barrel and opens it up and reveals some truly horrific looking spiky little ball sea urchins. And he basically says, "The first one to get through 3 of them wins."
I mean,
Because that also includes opening them up.
It does.
Go ahead, kneecap.
Okay. Okay.
This is right up your alley.
Yeah.
All right. So
I
this
hope you have some good pain tolerance.
these are Constitution checks, not saving throws, but checks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Let's see. I mean, I'm just making sure I don't have anything or con checks. So okay. Yeah. Okay. Um, my thing I would say is like maybe just for the flavor,
mhm.
kind of rage eat
Yeah.
to you know.
Well, so tell me your strategy here, because you are handed a sphere the size of a softball that has spikes extending an additional 4 inches out of it, all over it, and you are handed
Wow.
this. Tell me how you eat that.
Basically go in and just peel it open and just
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes.
About ready to say, have you ever had uni before?
It's actually one of my favorite dishes.
personally no.
oh, it's one of your favorites? Oh my God. Sea urchin is a precognitive seafood. It knows when it's going to get caught and dies 2 days earlier.
What? What? I'm just gonna roll the con check.
They see me coming and
Oh.
give up.
Got a 6.
Oh,
Nasty. And despite your attempt to like tear it open, you find yourselves like poked in the cheeks, and your hands have got little like little spots of blood all over them, and you're kind of getting through it, but it's gross. Meanwhile, he seems to like he's got some sort of a trick. It's a little unclear what he's doing with his hands, but he's getting all the spines to just like fold down around, and then he just like bites it like an apple. So he's ahead for the moment. Let's get
Okay.
another check.
18.
An 18 is a success. I think after watching him, you kind of figure out his trick with the spines, and it is still very nasty, but you're at least able to make yourself eat it. So you are regaining ground, but you're only just kind of catching up to where he already was. So let's get one more.
Okay. 22.
All right. I think that you have demonstrated your ability to just
Eat
get through
anything.
it.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a moment of just kind of like you've swallowed the last and just kind of a shiver of, but you've done it, and
I shiver, but I look up and
well now, I suppose if you're looking for any more, we got a whole barrel full. Fair's fair, I did promise, and congratulations to you. Well fought, well eaten. So, 50 gold then to take you to the side of the whirlpool. You want to go around but not in, is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Yes.
affirmative.
That's what we need.
We're studying the gates.
Well, I was just going to ask. You know, it's not necessarily any of my business, but I was curious. So, I take this ship, courier, and I go back and forth through the gate all the time, so it shouldn't be any difficulty to... I know the currents. I can sail us right around the circle and not go in if you're looking for that.
Mhm.
Exactly right.
Are you ready to go now? Or do
Certainly.
you need it some
Yep.
time?
No, I think we can go now.
Yep. Nope.
All right, well, first and foremost, I'm Bacall Steelbane. And he holds out his hand to Kneecap first,
Respect.
and to the rest of you. And then he gestures to the bird and says, "This is Courier." And the crow kind of like the raven rather, like turns his head back and like eyes you, you know, and it. I think you see in its eye kind of a like it looks like it's assessing you. Like it doesn't seem to be just like a pack animal or beast of burden. It's
Mm.
got an intelligent cast to it.
Yeah. Well, that's a raven.
So, if you like to climb aboard, let me collect my men. You know, we maintain a set of guards just because you never know what might come around when you're dealing with portals to the other planes, not to mention the other things that come around here. But, you know, that's just about being prepared and having your full crew, and of course, giving them work that they're paid for already, so they better do it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Agreed.
And
Of
I,
course,
Alright.
that's like said more over his shoulder.
Yeah.
All right. I hate to ask this question, but how are we paying them?
Um,
Was
I have no
Cuspid able
money.
to
Do you not
to
have
chip
the
in the whole
50
thing?
gold?
I mean,
Uh,
like, how would we?
I've got 20.
You've got
We can
20?
cover the rest.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
we
I've
each
got.
step in 10,
Yeah.
how about that?
Well, Tarsus doesn't have any, so we have
Tarsus
to
has
make
no
Yeah.
money.
Tarsus
Okay.
should still have starting equipment gold.
Oh, somehow it didn't give it to me when I got my new version of him. But yeah, I'll charge. I'll chip in 10 then.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to fix that.
So there's 6 of us,
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah.
and I was gonna say kneecap. Kneecap proved himself to to do it.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Kneecap paid his portion by eating all of those urchins.
All right. So the other 5 of you then each are, if you're each
Chipping
able
in.
to
Mhm.
chip in 10 gold, then that's paid, and he encourages you to go ahead and step aboard. You can see that there's rough waters in the bay, and what you suspect is this enormous whirlpool. It seems to start about a mile offshore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kneecap is going aboard the boat, and the rough waters don't seem to be agreeing with his with the seafood meal he just had.
Oh
Oh no.
no.
Yeah, want to make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Okay.
Oh no.
26.
Okay, yeah, like
You're
it's
fine.
I think you're
He looks uncomfortable, but he's not gonna throw up yet.
it's one of those like looking a little green, standing by the rail with maybe one hand on it, but
Yeah. But he
deep
looks
breaths.
he looks bound and determined to not show that weakness.
Mhm.
No, I'm fine. Just do it right over here. Um he says uh you know, we could maybe go faster if the seas weren't so rough, but you know, we usually to make the best of the currents, it'll take us about an hour to get out to the maelstrom.
Okay.
How close do you need to get?
Within 5 feet.
And
Uh, actually, not we.
Not that the
A
ship has
safe
to get
distance.
within 5
No,
feet. I have to get within 5 feet.
we within. Okay, how hard would it be to get within, say, 100 feet?
Oh, no problem. I mean,
Okay,
as I
then-
mentioned, I go in and out through the portal all the time. That's not a problem. And I can sail us around the portal with no difficulty. 5 feet might be a little dicey when the currents are a little unpredictable, but, you know, 100
Get
feet's
100
no
feet.
problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All
I
right
think
then.
I could give you a pretty consistent between 20 and 30 feet with no difficulty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So, I think I will put us all on on the map. We've got a map for Courier, the Raven boat.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so I think everyone should see this map now.
Ah,
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've got Bacol Steelbane, the captain, up here at front, and then you note that these other guards they look like they're ready to fight, but this is not seasoned warriors. This is like the job you give to like interns.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like they're
I
there in case because dangerous things could happen, and you need to give like opportunities. Like this is building their resume.
yeah. I only see a black screen.
Okay, I don't.
No idea. It's fine. I can do theater of the mind.
No, you don't have to do theater of the mind. Give me just 10 seconds, okay? I don't.
Okay.
Does that fix
Okay,
it?
there, got it.
Okay,
Yep.
it's like oh, see, I forgot. Like I have freaking dynamic lighting. I'd want to just like turn it off all the way, all the time, because it's just like nobody wants to use it, and it's okay. Can everyone else see it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
my computer is doing a thing that it'll recover in a moment.
Okay. I.
Yep.
So does that mean you can or can't see it? I don't.
I
Do I need?
basically my screen's refreshed, and right now the monitor itself is black. So it'll come back in a moment.
Okay.
I'll do a refresh if it won't work.
Okay. All right. I feel like I don't know what to do with that. Okay, so I will proceed. As you are you're sailing out, these guards are guards. They're not rowing or anything because that
Right.
appears to be unnecessary. Courier does all of that themselves.
Yep.
But as you are getting close to the maelstrom, you are certainly experiencing the rough waters, but Courier seems confident and no one seems worried. This seems all par for the course. As you are getting close, I would like everyone to make a perception check.
Oh,
19.
8.
22.
All right.
11.
Okay. Are we missing one person?
Me.
Okay.
Natural one.
Okay.
Which
Luck-
means it's still a 9, but luckily someone else had the.
Actually, I want. I'm
I'm going to be. I'm going to be too focused on like looking at all the details on the bird to see like what I can do to make a song.
Sure. I'm tempted. Kneecap.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
Oh.
Give me. That's okay. I'm tempted, Kneecap, to make you roll your perception check with disadvantage.
I like the idea. So
If you like it, then please do so.
a natural one for a 5.
Okay. Well, that means everybody is sufficiently distracted by either being on a cool bird boat or assessing the relative combat skills of the guards, or maybe checking
What was the
out
DC?
20.
Oh, wow.
Or checking out the nice arms from on Bacol Steelbane, or
Oh,
or maybe
man.
just looking ahead at this maelstrom and kind of like saying, "Oh, that's what a whirlpool portal looks like." That none of you see the two serpentine shapes in the water. That is until they attack. And they are going to attack, and we're going to roll initiative, and it will be a surprise round for the whirlworms.
Yeah. I think Mally's just trying to figure out how the hell do I describe this?
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Oof.
Oh wow.
I'm
Alright.
glad I have some gin right now.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
and
dun, dun,
tonic.
No, just
Uh,
straight gin.
all right, so
I did actually put tonic in it.
okay, so I just realized once again I have this the turn tracker like it kept stuff on there from before. So Cora's 17
Is 17,
is
yeah.
17. Okay, Malleus, which one was correct for you? 14?
14.
Okay, and then Cuspid, do we have yours on here yet?
I haven't rolled it yet.
Okay, go ahead.
13, and it's
Okay.
showing for me.
We're waiting on kneecaps.
Mine is 11.
Okay. Let's get you on here. Okay. And come on, give me the all right. Roll a d20. Okay, 7 for the. All right. Is this the right number of? I feel like
I don't
there's.
see Cora on there anymore.
Okay. This is where it's dumb because like um it had stuff on there that you can't see but I can see, and then there was a double and so I deleted one of the doubles, but it was apparently the double that you guys can see. Roll 20. Why is this such a messy thing?
And remains so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
although I think part of it is the issue that theoretically you could have a combat where you're switching back and forth between multiple maps, and therefore the initiative tracker being persistent between the maps makes some sense, except that the way that it's implemented still doesn't. How do we have so many? So 6, 10. So is that right? There's 6 of you, the whirlworms, Bacol, and the rowers. Do we have a double? We still have a double of someone. All
I
right.
don't see a double.
All right. Well, I
3,
just
4,
I'm
5,
also just
6,
trying to
7,
figure.
8,
So we
9.
don't have kneecaps. Kneecaps 11. That I had a double kneecap on there. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
that's why. All right. So, but it is a surprise round. So just the whirlworms are going for this first round. Um, so I think that the first thing that any of you notice happening is that let me share the handout for this whirlworm with you. Um, okay, and it's not in there because why would it be? I tell you, some of these there we go. Whirlworm.
Oh.
Yeah. So the first thing that anyone is aware of is that this thing lurches up out of the water suddenly and tries to take a big old bite right off of Tarsus there.
Yes.
Um, and it gets a critical fail on that first attack. So I think it is flopping up onto the part of the wing and finds that unsteady in a way that it sort of flops awkwardly and does not, misses you with that first snap. But then as it like drops back into the water, it's going to try to flick out with its tail. And that time it gets a 27.
That will hit me.
Oof.
Yeah, and that's going to do 15 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's
Ow.
not a critical.
Ouch.
That's not a critical.
Ow.
And so 15 bludgeoning, and you need to make a strength saving throw.
Oh. 14.
That is a failure. You are knocked prone.
Bonk.
Fortunately, not knocked like off the boat, but
No, that would be worse.
yeah. Okay, and then the other one I think is lurching up, and it's going to try to do the same thing, but this time with one of those guards. And bite
Oh, no.
gets a 24 to hit. and it just immediately chomps into this young man. He seems. Your impression is that he is instantly killed by the bite, and it it
Mm.
drags him off the boat and back into the water.
Oh man,
Oh boy.
these are not going to be fun.
And you get the impression that that is not a meal that will satisfy this thing and have it go away now. Okay, so now we're back into initiative, and it is Tarsus. Your turn.
Okay, Tarsus will stand up. He'll use his move to stand up and get prone, and he will cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. That creates an aura around you. Is that how that works?
Yep, 15-foot radius. His Spirit Guardians look like little warforged, just like himself, carrying maces, swirling
Okay.
in a 15-foot radius around him.
All right.
I'm not good at
15.
drawing these things.
You don't need to. I can make an aura on you on the map.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
I have to. It's a weird thing though, where like I create the aura and then like I have to. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I have to do an extra click box to make sure you see it. So
Okay.
the Spirit Guardians does something on their turn, right?
Well, the affected creature's speed is halved in the area when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. It must make a wisdom saving throw or
Right.
take 3d8 radiant damage.
Meaning no damage happens now. It happens.
Nothing
on its
happens
turn.
right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
That will be. Unless I have a bonus action that could be useful. I do not. No one else has got. No one's. No, nothing. That's
All right.
fine. No.
I will say I don't think I have ever heard a Spirit Guardians described as being little versions of you. A bunch of little
I'm flavoring it. It
no,
says
I love it. I'm not criticizing at all. I'm admiring that it's fun, and I've never heard anyone use it that way. All right. So that would be your turn, Cora.
Yep.
You're up.
I am going to, let's see. I'm here. That's there. Let's see. Bonus action, bardic inspiration on our little barbarian, and for my regular action, I am going to so this looks like it's like it's not like it's not crustacean or anything. It's
No.
like scales. Okay. So not shatter. I will do spray of cards at third level to and just get the
Which one?
get the one that's next to me.
Okay, sure. I just confirming.
So that's 15 feet. It needs to make a dex save.
Okay.
And I cast.
It got a 3.
Oh, okay. I thought I hit for it to cast. Okay, that's weird.
Okay.
I'm trying to roll in Roll20, but it's
Well, then just type the damage in Roll20.
okay. So that's going to be a 3d10.
You can also the little thing that looks like a d20 on the left. You can pull up and do 3 different dice combinations from there if that's easier than typing it.
Okay, so 15 points of damage, and it is blinded until the end of its next turn.
All right. You see several of these cards like sticking into its scales, including a couple that are obscuring its eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of hisses and
Okay,
All right.
done.
End of your turn?
End of my turn.
Okay, so it is now it is their turn. So the one that is in the Spirit Guardians is going to make a Wisdom save. It gets a 4.
Okay, it
Mhm.
fails. So
Yeah.
it takes 13 radiant damage.
Okay. I think it is going to try again to bite you.
Of course it is.
It got a 20 to hit.
That will hit me.
Okay, and that's going to do 16 piercing damage.
Oh God.
And
I am bloody. I'm more than bloodied at this
Yeah.
point.
and then you are also grappled. But I think what happens is as it starts to grab you and like go to pull you off the boat, it realizes that all of this hurty stuff around you is coming with you, and so it lets you go. So I'm gonna want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, dexterity saving throw. 11.
Okay, so I think although it does release the grapple because it's finding that you hurt to hold in its mouth, you are going to find yourself falling out of the boat.
Oh no!
For the record, too, the boat is not stationary at this point. It is moving through the water,
Yeah.
and
Oh God.
and
Oh,
the whirlworms are like moving fast through the water to keep up.
and I need to make a Constitution saving throw to keep my spirit guardians up.
Yes, do that.
I have Warcaster as a feat, so I get to make it at an advantage.
Sure. Would just be looking for a 10. Yep.
19.
All right, so it's up, but you're realizing that that like the boat is moving, and so you are like by the time we get to the top of the initiative again, it's going to leave you behind unless something else would change that.
I don't have Misty Step or anything like Tarsus 1 had. This is a problem.
All right, so but it moves away from you to get out of the range of this this spell that it doesn't like. And then that was just that one. The other one, I believe, is blinded,
Yep.
but it is going to come up and try to bite you in reprisal. It's biting, of course, with disadvantage for being blinded. It gets a 21 still. The other roll would have been a 23. So
I geek.
Okay, at least with the disadvantage, it is not a crit.
no, it's not a crit anyway. It's
there's no 10 plus
21
in
is the
this?
total.
No.
Okay. Oh wait, that's the other system I played.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay. Yeah. So no, it's yeah.
So it's just
21
gonna
is the die plus the modifier.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 23 piercing damage.
Oh.
And you are grappled. Grappled and restrained in the creature's mouth. And I think as it's going to start to try to pull you over, it's going to whip out with its tail against Malleus.
Okay.
And that's a crit.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Now, they were rolling bad on their saving throws, so
No.
it's only fair.
Yeah.
So that is going to be 23 bludgeoning damage to you, Malleus, and I need a strength saving throw.
All right. Hold on a second. 23 bludgeoning damage. Strength saving throw. Which is a Baker's 20.
Nice. So yeah, you are able to keep your feet as it smacks you, but you don't get knocked off of your feet. In the meantime,
Whoops.
it is moving to grab. It has Cora restrained in its mouth, and it's pulling her off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, of course, like I said, the boat is moving and they're having to swim too to keep up, and it is still doing that. It has not like decided that it's finished. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it could
Yeah.
like pull someone off and then swim away, but it's not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that was the whirlworm's turn. And it's no longer blinded now
Yes.
Oh, so that so I take it back, the crit on the tail should not have been a crit because it was of the blind. So it was only a 23 to hit, which means it still hits, but it does 15 damage instead of 23.
Okay, so I'll heal myself for 8.
Yeah. So
But I still get that full ouch.
yes.
Sweet.
So but Malleus, it is now your turn.
Okay. We just got new Tarsus.
I may
You
have to
don't
roll
wanna-
up yet
Well,
another
so I
Tarsus
think
thing.
you see that Tarsus has fallen overboard and is gonna get left behind as the boat continues to move. But
I've got him if you don't.
Okay, as long as if you've got him, then you got him. Um. Oh,
Hey, we definitely don't want to lose me. I've got that talisman for the
That's
Here.
true. You have to
Thing.
tell. That's very important. If you have to choose one of us, choose Cora.
just imagine if that had been on Tarsus when Tarsus got coralified.
That would have been very
Mm.
bad. That would be very bad.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would have been coralified because it's magical, maybe? Question mark? But yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I honestly don't know that I've got anything. Um, I don't actually have anything that can get her out of its mouth.
I mean, you could think, you don't have to go by just like the list of things. You could say I toss a
Yeah.
rope or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna see if I can toss her a rope and then give Kneecap the other end.
Okay.
No,
Uh,
actually, Malleus is actually pretty strong. He's gonna hold the other end.
okay. So make a ranged attack roll to try to toss the rope to Cora.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my crossbow
Okay.
ranged attack.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
It's an 11.
Well, I think at 11 is enough that that Cora, like, you can kind of grab at it. Actually, you know what? It's. I was originally thinking 15, so let's have Cora make a dex save to see if she can grab it as it almost reaches her.
Okay, 18.
Okay, yeah. So I think it almost looks like it's going to fall just short, but then you're able to like struggle in the creature's mouth and grab the end of the rope. So you're now holding the end of the rope.
But I'm
Okay.
still also grappled,
Yes.
so
Yeah, and restrained mechanically, which just means attack rolls have disadvantage, etc. Okay.
And I'm gonna back up one step down these stairs.
Okay.
Just to kind of
Brace
reduce
yourself.
the
Sure.
yeah brace myself and reduce the area of looking like dessert.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. All right. So good. Cuspid, your turn.
Right. I run up to the edge of the raven and lean down and cast fly on Tarsus.
Oh,
That works.
hey.
And then as a bonus action, I will cast a quickened sacred flame on the one that's got Cora.
okay.
So that's a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
DC 15.
Dex. Gets an 11.
Okay. 8 radiant damage.
Okay. All right. Yes, it is burned and scorched where the sacred flame strikes it.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get back out of the way.
Sure.
That's wise.
Mhm.
That's very wise. These things are nasty.
Yeah. All right. that makes it Kneecap's turn.
Okay, Kneecap will go over to here
Right.
and will rage and then start swinging.
Okay.
And remember, let's see, I've got a
You have
bardic
a bow.
inspiration
Yeah.
on you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, bardic inspiration. Yes.
Mhm.
So
All right.
okay, so that is 24 to hit
Sure.
for 10 damage,
All right.
and then second swing is 11.
11 will miss.
Okay, what is the
I'll
bardic inspiration?
put the bardic. Make that a 16.
16 will hit.
Okay. Okay, so
Because bardic inspiration. Woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
so that's 8 damage.
All right.
Sorry, add 2 to both because I'm raging.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's my turn at the moment.
All right. Okay, that was now it is the these other guards their turn. What is their? Let me
I hope they
I
have
didn't open
crossbows or
theirs.
something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I didn't open their skill they have spears, but they can throw the spears. I think the 3 on the left side are going to throw their spears at the one on the left. The 4 on the right are going to throw their spears at that one. So that's 3 ranged spear attacks for the one on the left. It's a 14, a 19, and a crit. So those all hit. So that's going to be between those 3. It's a 9 plus 10, so 19 damage. But they have also thrown their spears away.
Yeah, well,
So yeah, they've kind of come up to like here to do that, and then these others are kind of coming up here to do that for the other side. Oh boy, not so lucky on that side because that's an 11, a 4, a 17, and an 8. So only one of those hits for 4 piercing. You know what? I think that it makes sense in this context that they would. There's a rack of spears on the boat.
so
So,
they're just going to start
Yeah.
refilling
Yeah.
themselves.
but they don't just have them all, so they're going to have to
But-
get the spear the next round. The
Makes
replacement
sense.
spear. But okay, so the one on the left is looking pretty hurt at this point. Radius, it's your turn.
Alrighty, I would like to cast a 3rd level Hasha's Mind Whip, one at each of the large sea critters.
Okay. Is that a sorcerer twin spell or?
No, I just upscale it. I can target 2
Oh,
different.
I see. Okay.
Ah,
What save is that, or is that an attack roll?
It is a DC. It's a
It's safe, I believe.
D14 intelligence.
Okay. So the first one gets an 11. You're not the smartest things. The second one gets a 10. They both fail. 14
So they take-
psychic damage.
Yep, and they are. Yeah, they have to pick and choose on their next turn whether they want to move, take an action, or a reaction.
Okay. The one on the left is looking extremely hurt right now, and I think your immediate impression is that it looks like it has decided that perhaps just Cora and the other one that it ate already are sufficient.
Oh,
And so it looks like it's getting ready to sort of like flop backwards and leave.
no, you don't.
But it is now Bakol's Steelbane's turn. He's going to run over here and attack it with his longsword. Does 2 longsword swings at it. The first one is a 16 to hit for 10 damage, and then a crit. And
Nice.
so I
Nice.
think as he jumps down, he swings out once and then slashes it, and it looks as though it is about to, like it's like it wouldn't survive that first wound, but then as it is rearing back in pain, he just cuts its head off.
Nice.
And so the head is now, like falling free. The jaws release Cora. And so, Cora, I want both you and Malleus to make strength checks as you're holding on to the opposite sides of this
Oh
rope.
boy.
So strength checks.
Yeah.
13.
Oh,
Oh
critical
no.
Oh
one.
no.
A 1.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the good news is Cora
Well,
is
it's a
holding.
1, but it's a 9.
Well, okay, but the point is, good news is Cora is holding. It's a 1, but it's a 9. How is it a?
In a
Oh,
7?
sorry.
It's a
No, it was
7.
never mind. Never mind.
Okay.
The roll the total roll is a 9.
Okay. Your dice make 7s look like 1s, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, the good news, that's still too low. You lose the rope.
Yeah.
But Cora is holding on to her end of the rope, and because the rest of it is stretching back to you, I'm going to give Kneecap and Radius both an opportunity to make a dex save.
Okay. Oh, only a 7.
Okay.
Ugh.
What about you, Radius?
It's all up to you. Well, good.
Hold on. And what is this?
It's a dex
Dex
save.
save.
Deck save? Oh god. I'm not good at that. And I didn't light my candle. Okay.
A 10.
10.
I think a 10 is enough that I think you can get your hand on it, but now I want a strength save as well.
Oh,
Oh,
god,
boy.
terrible.
Let's get trapped over.
Ah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Making Radius do all the stuff he's best at.
Oh, no!
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh my god.
well, so for those who can't see, that was a natural 1 minus 1 for a result of 0.
0.
So I think that there's no other way to interpret that but that Radius reaches over to grab the rope, and it immediately, I think, the motion of it pulls it back out of your hands, but then a loop of it wraps around your foot and pulls you right over with it. And so both Cora and
And Radius.
and Radius are because this is the top of the initiative, which is when we're doing the motion. And so I think both of you are now basically 40 feet further back as you're pulled under.
Oh my god.
So I guess it's not actually that far in the grand scheme of things. So, but you are currently both under the wing, or Cora is under the wing. You're having to hold your breath. You're underwater.
I do not have to breathe.
Right. So you are being pulled under the water though, and so Cora is under the wing right now, but you're both in the water as the boat is moving forward. Bacall shouts, man overboard, like person overboard.
Woman and thing overboard.
Those guys over there, overboard. All right, Tarsus, it is your
Okay.
turn.
I'm flying.
Yes.
The question is, can I grab one of these people if I fly over to them? Okay, so should I go for Cora's underneath the wing? So
Yeah, you
can
wouldn't
I
be able to see her right now.
Okay, but I can see Radius.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to fly 5, I get speed of 60, right?
Mhm.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm going to fly to, I don't want to draw. No,
You
I
got
want
the
to
wrong
move.
tool.
I got the wrong tool.
Yeah. I can
I'm
get
going
rid
to
of it.
move. Yes, please. I'm going to move to here. I'm going to grab my buddy Radius.
Okay. So here's the key thing here. You have enough movement speed with the 60 to get over there, no problem. But bear in mind that the boat is also moving without you. You're not on the boat. You're not riding the
Yeah.
boat right now.
Right.
Right? So you would have had to use some of your movement to keep up with the boat, right?
Right.
And so even though you've grabbed them now, it's key that you are, the three of you, now linked by the rope and by your grab, are not connected to the boat. And so if you want to stay even with the boat, you're going to have to be able to pull them 40 feet forward unless you have some other solution.
Or alternatively, just continue 40 feet and then fly up onto the back end of the boat.
So I'm just saying,
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
try to imagine. It's one thing to
Right.
grab them. It's another thing to say, I'm pulling both people 40 feet through the water. Right? So you wouldn't, I think, be able to easily do that. But you have a little bit of movement left still. Let's
But I
see.
could tow. Yeah, I could grab the rope and tow them basically, or
Well,
try to. I
well,
would be able to get to
okay,
the boat.
but
Could
see
I?
what I'm saying is, like, you can have them, but the boat is going to move forward without you. And
Right.
so to keep up
Yes.
with it, you would need to pull them 40 feet through the water.
Which
Unless
I'm
you
not
can,
sure I can do.
but
Yeah.
so what I would say is the alternate right now is that if you can on this turn hoist Radius back onto the boat,
Up on top of its wing there.
or
Okay.
land on the boat yourself and be prepared to hold onto the rope as they are being trailed behind. This is athletics in either case.
Not my strong suit, but yeah,
How many-
I think landing on the boat and trying,
So
trying
you're
to,
trying to pull Radius up out of onto the wing.
yeah,
Okay. So just if you weren't flying, walking on the wing is difficult terrain, and you would have to make a dex save. But because you're flying, you don't have to do that. But
All
make an
right.
athletics check for me.
all right. Here we go.
Fingers crossed.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Oh
Oof.
no!
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So
Mm.
I think that you, like, for the moment, no one has changed positions, but I think you just, like, you go to pull him up and you just, like, the suction of moving through the water and everything is just, it's too much. And he's still in the water. You've still got a grip on him, but you realize that, like, the next time that we have the boat move mechanically, right? You're going to have to make another check or lose your grip.
Okay,
Okay.
that's my turn.
All right. Cora, you are holding onto the rope, but you are underwater. And you're
right.
feeling the current, like, flow by you because or rather, you are not, because you are being pulled backwards, right? The boat is moving forward.
Oh boy.
All right. Oh gods, I need to be able to speak in order to do that one.
Could you climb up the rope and get closer to Radius?
Yep. Climb up the
Yeah,
rope
I
and maybe
could
grab
try-
onto
yeah.
the front edge of the wing.
Yeah, I could try to, like, use the rope to guide me coming up since I'm in the water already.
Absolutely, that would be an athletics check.
Ooh,
Oh, look
17.
at that! Yeah, so I think you are able to, to crawl your way up the rope far enough that you are kind of here. And, like, you're sort of visible in there, and I think you could, like, pull your face up out of the water. But I think that's your action to do that, and you're not on the wing yet. You're just, like, not under it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is my action itself, and I don't really have any movement at this point.
No, I think you would have movement theoretically, but, like, the movement, it's like, it would not just be movement to climb out of the water onto the wing.
Okay. I'm going to like move at least a little bit so that I'm further along the
no,
wing.
so you were climbing up the rope. You are not
Okay.
on the wing. You are
No, I want
under
to be
in the
like
right.
further along the wing. So
Well,
if
but
the
like, tell me how you are doing that. You're not able to climb along the wing. You are below it in the water.
oh,
The wing is
basic.
not the like. So the wing that you're seeing here is not like at the water surface.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's I think that's part of what confused me.
Right.
All
So,
right.
but in any case, what I'm saying is that what you are climbing on is the rope. You're not climbing up the underside of the wing. You're holding onto the rope.
Right.
And so,
Yes.
if you wanted to do anything else related to the wing, that's a different check, and you would have to let go of the rope.
Okay. I just want to like move closer to the body of the raven.
I think that I would need you to. That would be another action because you
Okay.
are. It's one thing to say I'm holding onto a rope. I'm going to climb that rope. It's another
Okay.
thing entirely to say let go of this rope and climb onto a different thing while
Okay.
everything's moving.
All right.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So then, all right. So once my face breaks water, who seems to be the most likely to be pulling the rope?
Well, like Radius and Tarsus are right there, and Tarsus looks like he's already trying to pull Radius up onto the wing.
All right. Then I'm going to Bardic Inspiration Tarsus
Okay.
because that could go on ability checks too.
Yep.
Oh, good. That might be needed.
Next.
Okay. So now it's the Whirlworm's turn. This other one is, it is has swum to keep up, and the awful cloud has
The
Moved
clouds on the
away.
other side of the
yeah.
boat.
Now it had to move far enough away that it's actually it has to use 40 feet of its total 50 feet of movement just to keep up. And so that means that if it doesn't dash, it actually can't
Can't move very far.
can't get to where it can climb onto anybody. But I think what it's actually going to do is it is going to dash, and it's going to basically flop itself up onto the wing like this. And so it's not attacking this round, but it is basically got itself into position where it can attack next time. And it
boy.
also means that some of these guys can't run to go get their new spear without opportunity attack. At least one of them. Okay. Malleus, your turn.
Okay. All right. Hand grip tiny force ballista
Okay.
as an action, and I'm going to run over to here,
Mm-hmm.
tell guard dude to duck,
Sure.
and I'm going to shoot at the eldritch or whatever this
The
stupid thing is,
Whirlworm. Yeah.
the
Whirlworm.
whirlworm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot at it with my force ballista.
All right.
Ooh.
And that is a 13 to hit.
Unfortunately, a 13 does not hit.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I think
And that unfortunately puts me in range of
Yeah.
yeah, and so I
flopping.
think unfortunately the motion of the boat and the currents and everything moving around kind of you end up like reeling a little bit on your feet and the shot goes wide.
Okay.
Okay, Cuspid.
Okay, I am within 5 feet of it, so if I use a missile attack, it's going to be at disadvantage, right?
Yes, it also means that if you
Okay.
try to move away, it can snap at you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take my action will be disengage.
Okay.
I'm going to retreat back to here, and then I will cast a quickened, empowered second level guiding bolt.
Okay. Let's see that.
That's an
Okay.
18 to
And
hit.
18 certainly hits.
Okay. And I'm gonna roll the dice here because I get a bunch of rerolls. I don't need
Whoa!
rerolls.
Oh
I
no, you know
don't
what
need
reroll?
rerolls.
Rerolls? What
That
rerolls?
so of the 5d6, 2 5s and 3 6s is
God.
pretty good.
God.
That is
Oh
only 2
boy.
points short of max. So
Yeah.
28.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a hit. You see it looking like dazed for a second. Not only that, but it is also
It's also sparkly.
glowing with sparkles that make it easier to target for whoever will attack it next.
Yeah. And that's my action. That's my
And
turn.
that's how you use quickened sorcery points.
Um,
Uh, do you need here's a rules question. Did you need to spend the sorcery point to empower it before you cast? Like the
I
fact
didn't.
that you didn't need to re-roll, does that mean the sorcery point is still spent or
Okay,
no?
it says when you roll damage for a spell,
Okay.
you can spend 1 sorcery point. It doesn't say before or after.
Yeah, I think if the strictest interpretation would be to say you choose when you roll.
Yeah.
But I think I will allow that, like when you see if you want to re-roll any or not. I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can roll it and then spend a point to get rerolls.
Right. Because I don't
Okay.
like what I don't like is when stuff like that is just wasted because of dice. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Okay.
if you had to spend the point and then it was useless, like you didn't care, like what? That's no
Yeah.
fun. All right.
No, that's fine. Okay, so I restored that point and my
Good.
turn's over.
All right. Kneecap.
Okay,
We
got
got some
Use
friends
that-
here who are.
yeah.
we have we need a strong barbarian.
Also, this one would have like fallen behind.
Yeah. Hmm.
Go
And
out in the wing and grab Tarsus.
I imagine
And pull me. We could play daisy chain here.
I imagine the wing is actually moving as part of its
Yes, and
motion.
so it is difficult terrain to walk on the feathered part. Just means half movement speed, and you will have to make a dexterity saving throw. But
Okay, I'm gonna hop up.
mm-hmm,
Need dex save for that.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Baker's 20.
All right, yes, you are certainly able
Okay.
to keep your feet.
And then I want to grab Tarsus and see if I can
Haul
drag
him back onto the ship.
Yeah.
him and by extension,
Mm-hmm.
um, the radius.
Yeah. Yeah. So make an athletics.
Okay. Athletics. And I am still raging because
Mm-hmm.
so advantage
I think you'll lose the range after this turn though, because you're not attacking or taking any damage.
11.
But it's active now though. 11 is the result,
Yes.
even with advantage.
I
Wow.
got a natural
Well,
2.
you know what?
natural-
It happens. So
Yeah.
I think you've got a solid grip on them. So it's better than when it's just like one person holding on, but I don't think you're able to make any headway.
Perhaps it's enough to give someone advantage.
Well, I don't think so. And 11 is not a very good roll, but
Okay.
I think you've got a grip on them. So
Yeah.
like for example, if someone else like if Tarsus were to let go, I would say you still have the rope, right? But
Okay.
it's
I'm okay with
so
that.
like you're pulling, you've just not been able to make
Okay.
progress.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It is the rower's turn. 3 of them run back to go get their replacement. Uh, their replacement
Spears.
spears. And then I think the other 4 are going to disengage. Meaning they're going to move out of range and head towards the spear, but they won't have had. They don't have their action remaining to grab the new spear. So next turn, 3 of them will have new spears. The other 4 will still need to grab it.
Now
But
they won't have to throw them.
yeah, but now they're So now though they're not in the attack range. So that's their turn.
And all of our meat shields are over on the other side of the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radius.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Radius, you're in the water, but Tarsus has got a grip on you, and Kneecap has got a grip on him. But also, the rope that's tied to your foot is being climbed up by Cora. So what would you like to do?
And you have bardic inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no,
No,
I
Tarsus
think
does.
You gave it to me, or
Yeah.
did you give it to Radius? I meant to
No,
give it.
Tarsus.
Tarsus
Okay,
is who you said.
So
Did you meet? Who did
am
you
I
meet?
out of the water,
Okay.
or
So
like my boat? Like
just a
is my
moment.
head out of the water?
So just for a moment, Cora, Tarsus
I-
was who was pulling Radius out of the water. Is that who you wanted to have?
Yes,
inspiration?
I
Okay.
wanted the person who was doing the pulling.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's so Tarsus is correct. So Radius, I'm sorry. You are yes. I think your head is out of the water. Tarsus has got you. He was trying to pull you up onto the wing. He just wasn't quite strong enough. Kneecap is trying to help, but you're kind of getting like the boat is moving, and so the current is trying to pull you further back under the wing, but your head is above water.
Right. Okay, since my head is above water, and that means I can talk.
Mhm.
Bonus action Misty Step.
Okay.
To the base.
All right. So that
Yeah,
easily
so-
fixes you,
Right.
but it
Cora.
means that Cora, the rope that you were holding on to, is suddenly not attached to anything anymore. So I want you to make a dex save to see if you can grab onto the wing now that the rope has
God.
suddenly gone free.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that natural 20.
Oh.
Funny.
That's what.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I
Good.
think that you had been climbing up, and just as like you feel the rope jolt loose, you're able to reach out, and I think you managed to get 2 handfuls of feathers to hold on to, so you don't slip back under the wing.
Yay.
And Radius is out of danger.
Right.
Or
And
well, there
Courier
is
is
still
going to
another
be-
whirlworm. So,
How
but yes,
upset is Courier?
Now,
Yeah.
can I use cantrip after using Misty Step?
yes.
Well, then I'm gonna firebolt that word lizard.
Sounds like a good idea.
You get advantage because it's sparkling.
That's correct.
Yes.
Nice. That is a 24,
Certainly hits.
and that is 11 points.
All right. It's looking pretty hurt at this point, but it's also looking like it might like to still drag one more person overboard with it. So that was Radius's turn. It is now Bacol Steelbane's turn, and he is going to also help try to pull everybody back on board. I think with Kneecap looking like he's got Tarsus, and Tarsus being able to fly anyway, Cora is obviously the one in danger. So he's going to run down here, try to grab you. He does have to make his own. You know what? I think he automatically succeeds on the dex save. This is his boat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What captain does not know every weld on a ship?
Okay. He just rolled double natural 20s.
Nice.
Oh.
I mean,
That
At
whole-
least it's on him and not on the wormy
The
thing.
whirlworm, yeah.
yeah. So
Oh.
let's see if I can get the. I just took that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think not only does he get you out of the water, Cora, but he like flings you back over all the way onto the deck.
Oh, okay.
And
That
then
works.
uses, I think, you know what, with double natural 20s, I think he's going to go ahead and get both, grab Kneecap and Tarsus back over too.
Oh, yay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Sticks the
Huge.
landing, nothing but
It
net.
occurs to me though that Tarsus is flying, and so without having to hold on to Radius, there really wasn't any need to pull him overboard.
But he
you know.
still did it.
But I think he grabs Kneecap, and Kneecap was holding on, so
Guys,
it's all yeah.
Tarsus.
Yeah.
All right, but in any case, he gets everyone back aboard, and he's just saying, you know, I'd hate to lose paying customers again.
Again.
Indeed.
Yeah, so that's the end of his turn. It is the next round. The ship is moving forward, but everybody's back on board. And the whirlworm at the moment is flopped over its wing, so it doesn't have to swim to keep up either. Tarsus, it's your turn.
Oh yay! Oh good, and everybody's on board. I don't have to rescue anybody. So this
Mhm.
warworm didn't like my spirit guardian. So let's reintroduce it to it.
Yeah.
So we're going to move to here. Let's not get that close. Actually, I might go for the guard sets. Let's see here.
Oh, the
it's got
sparkles are gone too. Let me turn that off.
yes, the sparkles are gone. I'm gonna go. That's wait, that's no. Let's go. Yeah, there. This way. This way. Yeah, that's fine.
If you
'cause
can
I
get a
might go
little
to
further down, you can help to protect those
the guards. Right. I'm also
guards,
trying to
yeah.
avoid getting hit by the thing. But yeah, I
Mhm.
think that's fine.
Well,
And
you can back up. Just go down one instead of coming forward one.
yeah, now I
Yeah.
protect two guards and you. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And what shall we give it to it? You know, like let us give it a guiding bolt of our own.
Yeah.
And see how that goes. All right. That's going to miss though with a 12.
Yeah, does miss, but you did get.
Bardic
Oh,
Inspiration.
you do have bardic inspiration.
Oh
Yeah,
yes. Well,
let me go ahead and add that. Add 2.
To make
14.
14, which just hits.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Obard. So it takes 13 radiant damage and
13
is sparkly
radiant
again.
damage. Yes, it is on the verge of death. It
And
is
it's
not
sparkly
completely
again.
destroyed, but it is absolutely it is in dire danger. You suspect if it even gets to its next turn, the spirit guardians may finish it off. But Cora, you get a shot first.
All right.
You
First
see,
of all-
it looks like it's like if it doesn't die immediately, it's gonna flee. But it's
Okay.
your turn.
Vicious Mockery.
All right.
It's a cantrip.
Uh huh.
Yes.
It is. Makes a
And-
wisdom save, I believe.
Must succeed on a wisdom save. It does not need to understand me.
It got
Yeah,
a 6.
I know. Xenophon made lots of use of that.
Yeah, it got a 6. So what
So-
insult sends this thing to it watery grave?
You pile of dried out sea foam and bilge water.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It sort of rears back and it's bleeding everywhere. And it's kind of it, and it's sparkly too because it's just got hit with a guiding bolt. And then I think it just goes and seems to kind of shrivel up, and the like it's just a little, right? Like it doesn't become like it doesn't deflate. It's
No,
just like
it's just a little bit of psychic
it
damage.
pales and the eyes kind of roll back, and then it just sort of flops limply and rolls off the wing, and it's dead. And so there is an immediate chorus of cheers from all of the guards and Bacol as well, and everyone is like rushing over to congratulate and cheer, and then immediately all of the guards and Bacol start singing a song for the guard that was pulled over the side and killed. But the song is not sad. The song is it's a triumph. He got a good death in battle.
Yeah.
And that he is sure to get his fill in the feast halls of Isgard tonight.
Kneecap will join in, uh, and as much as, yeah, even just a little humming of the tune, because it just
Join right in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And they are extremely pleased to have you join in, and you have all proved yourselves in battle now, and they are really excited to have had this fight. Although Bacol is certainly participating in that like celebration aspect,
Mhm.
but he does look a little bit troubled.
Mm.
And then I think he approaches you, Cuspid, and just says, I assume that you still need to do what you paid to come out here for.
Yes, we do.
I'll just have you know, since you said you're studying the portals, this was not typical. We know about the whirlworms, but they don't usually come this close. Over at Gricknock, they usually fight them over there and keep them from coming this far into the bay. I'm a little worried that if we see them in here, something might have happened out there.
Mm.
Oh, good to
Mhm.
know.
Okay. I think Captain.
Hey,
What is the portal usually like? Like what would be a good crossing?
he kind of looks over this. So it's like basically like this, only without the whirlworms. Usually, like everyone's happy to have a good fight and all, but usually that's not Plan A.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's rough seas, especially for a ship of this size. A giant ship has comparatively less trouble. But Isgard is not a place where you go if you're faint-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should do our business at the gate and then set forth for Grishnak to see about whether there's a problem there.
Well, I think
Yeah.
we'd better report what we saw back to Tirza before we go on elsewhere. But otherwise, I'm on board with your plan.
Yep. And if I'm certain that we are all up for helping if such a thing is needed.
yes.
Aye, that's the spirit. All right. So, what else do you need? Do you need me to get any closer? What's the plan here? I think you're still flying for the moment, unless
Yeah,
Cuspid
I'm
would have
still.
dropped, right, Tarsus?
Yeah, but Tarsus, does it need to be?
It
Uh,
has to be me because I'm attuned
Okay.
to
I'm
the
not.
Mimir.
It
It
would
has
take an
to be
hour to
someone who
tune it.
is attuned to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Tarsus, get back down here,
Yep, I
Um,
will land.
and then I will cast fly on Malleus.
Okay.
That flying was rather handy.
I
Tactical
thought it
use.
might be.
What a great thing that you decided to pick that spell when you had the choice.
Yeah.
So, with the ability to fly, you don't have difficulty in getting over there. However, I will certainly, by the time you have gotten close enough that the Mimir sort of activates and indicates that it's ready for input, like, this is not a fun place to hang out. The water is just
No.
rushing. So, imagine terrifying river rapids and having to hold your face within 5 feet of the water with nothing protecting you. You're flying, so you're not going to fall in, but it is just roaring water. You're soaked to the bone.
Yeah.
It's very loud, but you are able to record your information as planned. So what do you say? And once again, like we did before, I'm not asking you necessarily to improvise a 1 minute monologue here, but you can tell me the gist of what you say.
I'm
Yeah.
curious if you
It's
change anything this time, like you did
no.
with Cursed.
No. Cursed. the gate here is exactly what it should be. The cursed was an experiment to see if the gate description would spread to the city itself. So basically the gist of it is that the gate is in the middle of an enormous roaring whirlpool surrounded by rough seas,
Mhm.
so sailed only by the bravest.
Just to be clear, too, the description is not always just about the gate, but also like the immediate environs, like
Yeah,
like the gate
that's why I
town.
mentioned that
Yeah.
in the town.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
I mean that. So, like, you can
yeah,
say
it's
you just describe it exactly as your real impressions were.
yeah, rough seas. With a portside town inhabited by the bravest of men and what bravest of beings. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Even better.
Okay.
Or a seaside portside town, seaside town.
Mhm.
Let's do
Yeah.
seaside town.
Yeah, that works. I mean, it's a bay, but the water is it's a little unclear where it goes beyond the bay.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So that you are able to record all of that, and you return to the boat, and you're just literally, like I said, you're just completely soaked.
Yeah.
Are you all done then with your study?
Yep.
All right.
Verdict. You got to be brave to go in there.
Well, yes, indeed, but that's kind of the idea.
Yep.
But yes, so I'm gonna take us back to Glorium now, so we can let Tirza know what we found. But I suspect
Mhm.
she'll be looking for volunteers to check out Gniknak. I'm saying it properly. You heard it right. Every single time I've said it, I said the same thing. Uh, and in fact, the name of the place is Graknock. Graknock, which is what I've
Graknock.
said every time I mentioned it.
Yes. Reknok.
Yeah, so there is the same hour-long. I think it's a little faster because Bacol has encouraged Courier to be in a hurry as you
Mhm.
return.
Mhm.
Let me. So as you get back to the ports, he encourages you to come with him as they seek out Tirza Bonebreaker.
Mhm.
And you are heading back into town. You come across Tirza Bonebreaker shot putting a laughing halfling into the air, which is
Wow.
hilarious given a separate conversation that
Yeah.
several of us have been having about a different campaign regarding the rules that would govern the fastball special. But
So
in any case,
I did have the right phrase in mind.
yes. However, in this case, Tears of Bonebreaker is very large and has a belt of frost giant strength. So, extra strong. Plus, the halfling fellow soars over 20 feet, nearly overshooting bales of wool in the town circle. A cheer rises from the motley crowd surrounding Tirza, who shrugs and laughs because she almost threw him past the safety. um,
Because of course she did.
the leader of Glorium stands well over 6 feet tall, with an artistically etched prosthetic arm and an impressive collection of tattoos covering her copper-colored skin. Let me put the
Mhm.
the artwork back up here.
I just
Um,
have to step away for a moment.
Okay. And she notices Bacall as he approaches and gives a friendly shout. Bacall, back from the land of legends. Glad to see we keep you coming back. But as as you all go up and Bacall quickly explains what he's seen, and his worry that Greyknock may have, like, how did these whirlworms get in here? Are the defenders of Greyknock missing? And she says, "Whirlworms, lost villagers, certain peril. Hear that, Glorium?" Tirza booms. "It sounds like we're in need of heroes." And around her, the people of Glorium go wild with cheers and the shouts of volunteers. Tirza points dramatically at two heroic-looking locals and then turns to Bacall. "And what about you and your crew here, Bacall? You up to saving someone's world?"
Kneecap steps forward and says, "Yes, yes, yes."
That's what I like to hear. So I think she, with the task set, she returns to her business. However, what you see also is that these two other competitors, or I call them competitors, a little, bit of a spoiler here. Let me first describe to you what these two look like. One of them is a woman in the armor of a Doomguard Rotblade, which I'm sharing a handout with you right now. It's basically armor that looks like it's made of like various different kinds of bones and has spikes all over it.
Uh-huh.
You're all seeing this,
How
this
charming!
artwork?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other one is a horseman that you know to be an equinal, is the name of this species. And so those are the equinal guardian is the other handout I just shared. And so
Yeah.
those are the other two that she pointed at. And as she finishes, you watch them immediately start to gather up stuff like they're in a hurry. And
Okay.
so Bacall is going to look to you and just say, "Look, I'm not looking to pressure you into anything you're not ready for, or to make you hurry beyond what you think what you would consider safe right now. But I warn you, they're going to get ready to head out there as soon as possible, and they're going to try to solve the problem first. And that's how we do things around here, is that whoever comes back having solved the problem first is going to get the reward."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Right back to the boat then. Let's go.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so I think you all hurry back to Courier. And as you do, you see Bacall points out that the Doomguard Rotblade is a woman named Citri. And he says, like, despite how ominous she looks, she's one of the goodies. And then the horseman says, "That's tall Frostmane. He's full of flattery. That one, you get a drink in him and he'll sing your praises all night. But he's got a mean what his weapon? It's a thing. He
It's a
uses
thing.
rocks and his fists and his head. So the key is finding the right number of drinks where he'll sing your praises, but before he starts swinging those fists. But he's got his own boat." And he points down at, there's a swift sailboat named the Allure, and tall Frostmane seems to be busily getting it ready to sail. Meanwhile, overhead, you watch Citri fly past on a flying carpet.
oh,
Wow.
So as you are all hurrying as well, you are getting ready to fly off, or to travel on the Courier, because Bacall is certainly prepared to
Yep.
to continue to assist you in this whole thing.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
So It's going to take a little while, but it is race, right? So you're certainly
Mhm.
aware, watching as you sail, trying to stay even with the flying carpet and the other sailboat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now,
Okay.
because you hurried, you didn't really stop for a rest or anything. You can you're basically pretty even with them. Um, it is you can potentially try to be doing a short rest on the boat. However, some
Okay.
things are going to happen that, depending on what you decide, may interrupt the short rest. So don't like do it yet.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm pretty battered. I would like to take a short
Well, that's what
rest.
I'm just going to
Right.
say is
Yeah.
depending on, so there's going to be some things that might happen. So don't mark the short rest yet. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, like, you can kind of like start it and we'll see if you can
Yeah.
finish it.
Okay.
And in the process of setting up for that, I am going to what's the feature? The
Song of Rest.
Song of Rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and this would be also for any crew, or like I'm going to make sure I'm performing loud enough that
Mhm.
anyone could hear.
Sure. So the thing is, right now, because you're all relatively even, literally these other two are in actual shouting distance. Do you yell out anything to them?
I'm not, but if someone else wants to, I'm going to be concentrating on the
Yeah.
healing us up quicker.
Yeah, I think Tall
I
Frostman yells out to all of you, just saying, "You all were mighty brave to take on this challenge, but I'm going to defeat whatever this problem is before you."
Good luck to you. What's important to us is that it gets solved. Have a nice day. Um, uh,
Kneecap will holler
Kneecap.
out, will yell out, "Help over glory."
We
Tall
Well
have,
shouts
said.
back,
Well
"Why
said,
not
Nika.
both?"
we've got wounded people in the party, correct?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
How
right.
long,
Yeah.
how long is the trip gonna take?
If it's
It's going to
over,
be like a couple of hours, but like I
Okay.
said, there's some events that happen.
All right, well, as early as we can, I'm gonna get the wounded folks together and cast prayer of healing.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I think you
Oh.
can do that without interruption.
Okay, so
Unfortunately, only 10 points of healing.
I'll take it.
That
Yeah.
helps.
Is that
Helps.
is like everybody who needed healing gets that, presumably?
Mhm.
Up to 6 creatures of my choice, so
All right.
yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think you're able to do that, and you're all kind of in the process of taking a short rest as you're sailing along. Sutri is clearly in distance of all of this, but is taciturn by nature and is not participating in the shouting. Um, so who? I think several people have a relatively good passive perception. Who has over 14?
I have 14.
Okay,
I have
14 counts.
14.
All right.
I'm 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got
What was yours, Jason?
14.
Okay.
Exactly.
18 is, so I think Cora is the first to spot. In the distance, you can see a dinghy being tossed by the bay's choppy waters. The vessel seems to be taking on water, sinking into the waves. You can make out one small occupant on the craft. You see it in the distance. It is not on the way.
Mm.
Okay. Um Through, like, I'll do an improv verse in my song to like point someone over that way for notice,
Mm-hmm.
and see what people say as a result.
Uh, well, Kneecap will go over and look and try and see if he can tell more details.
I mean, from here, you can tell what I described. You see
Mhm.
a dinghy that looks like it is likely on the verge of sinking. There's one person inside. You you're not. It is not close enough to tell more than that. To tell more, you would have to break off your current course and go over that way, and it would delay you. You would be behind the others if you're the only one that does that.
I think we should do that.
I mean, we are not racing. We are just trying to solve the problem. So I think we should help the
Well,
person. Or
then
are we?
The captain
Oh,
is
what's the captain
racing.
feel? How's the captain feel?
Well, you know, I mean, all of this is kind of coming from your initial investment. I feel like it ought to be your decision. That said, I will point out you can maybe persuade one of those other two to stop and save them, then they get saved and we don't fall behind. It's just an option.
That'd be somebody
Okay.
persuasive.
idea.
That's like a bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perception or deception?
I mean, I think it's
Or how about
perception if you were
persuasion?
sincerely persuading them to.
No,
try
sorry,
to save.
Persuasion.
persuasion or deception of like.
I
Oh,
think
no,
that's
persuasion.
noble.
Yeah.
Are you better at persuasion or deception?
I'm
Yeah.
better at persuasion.
Well, you can persuade
Doom
people
Guard-
that
Yeah,
the
the-
glory is in helping somebody and saving them.
Yeah, the Doom
Yeah,
Guard might
and-
be your best target.
Yeah,
she's-
That's
she's
something
the
you're
goodie.
guaranteed to be able to do. Like the person with the flying carpet, absolutely. can
Oh,
see
yeah,
one
actually,
person.
yeah,
that's
the
true.
person-
Yeah,
I'll call out to the person with the
And-
flying carpet going basically, and hey, if you want to rack up more glory points for yourself, how about saving that person and solving the problem first?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh, it
Oh.
was it flashed 18 so briefly.
That's how
Aw.
it goes sometimes. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think what Citri calls back is, if you believed that, you would do it.
You're faster around that carpet. But-
You have not successfully persuaded
Yeah.
Citri.
No.
You could
Yep.
still try with Saul, but
Yeah, that's going to be
or
probably a
Talls,
little bit
excuse
harder.
me.
Talls.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll
I
try
mean,
that.
his boat is also big enough to pull someone aboard
Yeah.
if he sails
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
see,
so is
see if
Courier,
I,
but right,
yeah.
you know, it's like, so anyone could. I think it was, but it's yeah.
I'll see if I can sweet talk him into it.
Okay,
Oh, that's much better.
yeah. So what do you
23.
make a different pitch, especially given that he heard you shouting to C3 first?
I'm not going to make the you're faster because you've got the flying carpet, but it's like
I think Bacall will lean over and just say, "Offer to buy him a drink."
it's like, I'll buy you a drink if you go save him.
And I think that there's a moment where he looks over at and says, "That's a deal." And he starts to verge his boat over, and I think as he falls behind, and you and Citri continue forward, you do watch as he does sail the Allure over there, and he rescues this what looks like maybe a kid out of that dinghy. The dinghy goes down, but he does save the kid.
Good.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so he is now still on his way, but he is
He's
has
a little
fallen
bit
behind in
slower.
the race. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and so not just shouting did not require any interruption of your short rest.
Okay.
So let's see. I think you also, as you are heading forward a little bit, several of you notice ahead of you some splashing that you spot another whirlworm that is more or less kind of in your path.
Let
And-
the captain know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so He says, I think Courier can kind of go into a sort of stealth mode, but it is still going to require all of you to be stealthy as well. So
Oh,
I
So
think
I'll
what we're going to need is a group stealth check
Oh,
to
yeah, and
see
I'm
if we
gonna
can
Does
get
anyone
by
have,
this whirlworm.
pass
Oh, boy.
without trace?
I mean,
so
Trace?
I
Wait,
would
so-
have
okay.
I probably would have to stop my performance then.
Yeah, if so,
Yeah.
so if you're doing anything but making a stealth check, it will break the short rest for that
Okay.
person at least.
So I will break the short rest and do the
Okay.
stealth
Yeah, so you
check.
don't
So
get the stealth rest.
so anyone who doesn't take any action can still be in their short rest. So we got a 16, a 15,
Well,
a 15, 12.
I'm going to.
Is that okay?
So if
No.
I don't run the stealth check and I stay in the stealth in the short rest, what happens as far as the
No, you
checks
can
are
do the
concerned?
stealth check. I'm just saying, like, if you did anything other than trying to be
Oh,
stealthy.
I see. Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, so for example, casting a spell would count as interrupting.
Yeah,
Okay, so well that is
I sucked.
well, yeah, so that is low enough, but that the group's rolls were sufficiently high that you can get by. I think as you pass it, Bacall will just kind of say, you know, I can tell you're all kind of new to the race competition aspect of it, so it's not necessarily coming natural to you. But it occurs to me that you could persuade, you know, if you're not going to fight it, you could persuade Citri to try to fight it on her way, and that would delay her as well. Up to
Okay.
you, though. I mean, if who knows what
Uh,
we're going to face there, it might be nice to have her help, but up to you.
Mm. Like I could try to do the persuasion again, but I think I want like
I
we-
think after the first one, it might make more sense to have someone else do it, unless you
Yeah.
really want to sell me on what. the
yeah,
pitch would
I
be.
don't have a particular
I've
pitch.
actually got a good persuasion score.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a I'll just say what's the name of the one on the flying
Citri.
carpet?
See tree.
Citri. I don't think you're tough enough to take on that whaleworm.
All right, make a persuasion check.
It's only 13.
I think a 13 is not enough.
I'm going
Yeah.
to use. Hold on.
Oh, boy.
Oh nope, it's only saving throws and attack rolls. Never mind.
Oh well. Yeah, I think she says, surely you don't think one is the priority. We can come back for it.
Hmm.
Worth a
But-
try.
yeah.
You know, that's how it
We'll
goes
have
sometimes.
her.
However, what I'll say is that because you didn't end up having to fight anything or really divert your approach to take other actions, you're able to complete the short rest.
Cool.
Okay. Do we add my song or was I
No, yeah, you can do your
Okay.
song.
So how does the song work?
It just you
so
get
basically adds in this case 2 more hit points.
yeah. So
Okay.
Short
anyone
rest.
who's using hit dice gets an extra 2 hit points.
Oh, okay.
I don't have anything that resets on short rest. So yeah.
If you had but some folks
if I did,
some folks
would.
were down on hit points too.
Mm.
Yeah. So in any case, as you are getting close, Citri is still pretty even with you. Tall, you can see, has rescued the kid and is in pursuit, but he is a little ways behind you. But as Greyknock comes into sight, with its colorful homes and varied goat and sea serpent carvings, the village of Greyknock would look cozy were it not being attacked by a behemoth whirlworm.
Oh, crap.
Over 30 feet long, the giant eel towers over the town's few barrier defenders, smashing fishing boats and cottages in its rampage. And I think,
it looks a little beyond our skill.
well, and that is actually where we're going to leave it off on that image.
Oh, boy.
Um,
Oh, boy.
Da
Wow.
da da.
Yes. So,
The skeleton crew
uh,
has to fight a kaiju.
yeah. So when we next return, the skeleton crew will take on or flee from the behemoth whirlworm, and we will find out what happens when we return for more adventure on so many levels.
So
So
many
many
levels.
levels.
Yay.